President. One of the rites of passages for many young Australians on the road to adulthood is completing the requirements to hold a driver's licence. Sitting behind the wheel of a car for the first time is a core memory for many people, and the first time you drive on your own, well, that feels like freedom. The road stretches out in front of you, unfurling like a ribbon, and that realisation that you can go anywhere at any time is an exciting moment. For many astute Tasmanians, the keys to that first car have often gone together with membership of the Royal Automobile Club of Tasmania. This year, the RACT reached a milestone, 100 years of operation, and while it has undergone some significant changes over that time, the core values of the club has never changed. Today, the RACT has more than 200,000 members. Personally, I've been a member since I was 17. The RACT was founded in 1923 by two men, accountant Raymond John Shield and lawyer Alan Crisp, who both loved cars. Despite the fact cars were only in their infancy, it wasn't really about the cars, though. It was about the camaraderie, the club culture and the community. Over a century, the RACT has become the eminent source of information on the best way to navigate and behave on Tasmanian roads. It developed the Motorist Handbook, which provided technical advice and motoring material. The RACT has been at the forefront of ingenuity and history over the years, starting way back in 1923, when one of the most important inclusions was a distance table that helped drivers compare trips and assess their fuel needs. Fast forward to the 1960s and club membership had exploded to more than 12,000 members, and the advent of television along the way had revealed the allure of Tasmanian roads to others for the first time. During the 1962 Commonwealth Games in Perth, the RACT sponsored a vehicle to help other mainland clubs patrol the air highway. It was driven by Patrolman D. Goodwin, who helped cover the 776-mile highway in 44-degree weather for 31 days. One of the most fascinating things about the RACT is that, yes, it started through a love of cars, but the organisation has always reinvented itself to improve services and outcomes for its members. The first notable example of this was in the 1960s, which saw the introduction of the RACT driver training service. This service is still used today by young people who want to learn to drive under teacher supervision. Another came 2 decades later in the 1980s when the RACT introduced its signature roadside emergency service and insurance options. It was described by the RACT as arguably one of the most important single developments in the organisation's history. The transition from acting as an insurance agent to being a locally owned private insurance company was a big change, but the RACT's constant focus on being a grassroots Tasmanian company interested in the betterment of the state meant they soon won the loyalty of many customers. Over the years, the RACT has worked with all levels of government to change the rules on intoxicated driving, bicycle reflectors, and push for better, safer and more sensible road regulations. In more recent years, they have advocated for better driver awareness and for improvements to our road network. One of the things I admire about the RACT is that while they are first and foremost a business, they have the Tasmanian community at their centre. For example, following the devastating bushfires at Dunalley, and I'm sure most of you have seen viral images from that time, RACT members and customers were among those who suffered loss, but were also some of the first to swing into action to help. The RACT contributed $25,000 to the Red Cross appeal to support victims of the fire and delivered a $20,000 recovery grant scheme for small community groups affected by the fire. Roadside service was provided to all fire-affected people irrespective of their membership status, and the insurance staff were quickly on site at refuge centres in the hardest-hit towns, supporting members and assessing damage. Tasmanians rely on our extensive road network, arguably more than other states. With a disparate population and less frequent public transport system, Tasmania has the highest proportion of drivers according to the ABS. It's why we need organisations like the RACT to advocate for change and be the voice that speaks up for motorists. It's fascinating to think that this membership organisation has spent 100 years doing just that, and that without them, our roads would not be as safe as they are today. I thank management and staff for their tireless work and look forward to their next 100 years. Thank you.